friends, welcome back to another video. Before we dive into this one, we have a guest star who wanted to say hi because she saw me taking over the kitchen. So, say hi.
Hi.
What are you going to be working on?
A Valentine's Day card.
Yeah, she's doing her Valentine's in the other room, and she has promised to be super quiet for us so that I can get some photography done, right? Do I usually do photographing in the kitchen on Sundays while Jackson's napping? Yes, that's kind of our routine. Okay.
I'm used to it.
She is used to it. She is absolutely the best. So, yes, here we are in my kitchen, and I just wanted to show you guys how I do my photography as a part-time reseller, because you guys, I think I have said before, I do not have anything dedicated in my house to reselling. I am a full-time mom, full-time worker. I have a real job outside of this, and I just make it work in my house. So I wanted to show you guys my photography process. Just to kind of have a chatty work with me. I have some questions that you guys have asked recently on my channel that I thought would be fun to talk through. And then I can also just talk you through my process. Maybe you can get some tips. If you're seeing things that you think could help me and make my process more efficient, drop those down in the comments. I am always here to learn. So before, I haven't moved a couple things just because I wanted you guys to show, like, this is real life. So I have this nice little thing hanging on my wall, and this just comes off, and that is where I'm going to hang my items. I open my blinds. To try to get as much natural light in here as possible. So hopefully it's not going to wash me out. Hopefully it'll reset a little bit on camera and you guys will be able to see stuff. I also have this little, I'm gonna show you guys another angle really fast. You can see what I'm talking about. I have this little like side table over here that I literally just move out of the way. Plus then I can use it. So, okay, let me show you what we're working with here. Here is the hanger. This is what we are going to use to hang everything on. It's just a command strip hanger. I just got a nice black one that wouldn't bother me while I had other stuff on it. Here's the little table I moved off to the side. This I'm gonna put clothes on and stack them when I'm done with that item, photographing it. This is my stack that's ready to go. I have another stack of pants behind me here. I'm going to give you guys, I won't try to spin you too fast. I got sunlight. So it's always difficult. I'm actually photographing at a weird time of day today because we got home a bit later. I try to photograph when it's either overcast or in like the day or early afternoon, because afternoon sunlight for me is coming in weird here. And then sometimes it'll start casting shadows over here. So that is a limitation, but we'll work around that. This is honestly just like a little piece of paper I used to do some like beauty photography on. And if I need to take a picture of like a tag or something else, I will lay it here and take a picture of it just to have a nice background. Here is where I'm gonna write all of my measurements that you'll see me taking as I go in this video, because I find that it's easy to measure things when they're hanging on the wall. So that is what we're looking at. That is what we're working with. So before we start, let me just give you a rundown of what I photograph with. Here is my very important thing. I photograph with my phone. I do have a nice fancy camera. That's what I'm filming with, so you guys can see me right now. But I'm gonna close that just a tad for the sake of you guys, because I feel like that was really bright. I'm sorry. But I just use, it's like a Samsung S22, I think, that I take all my pictures with, and that has worked really well for me. And then I have a couple things. So I have this nice basket that I keep up in my guest room. It's the same room that when I'm doing like what sold videos and stuff where you can see the shoes behind me, I just tuck it away up there. And with me, I have all my hangers. I have a kid's size hanger, I have a pants hanger, and I have an everything else hanger. I have my little travel steamer. You're gonna see in today's video that if I have anything that I need to steam, I set it aside and I make a big pile. And then when it is time to steam those items, then I get them all out and I do them together. So I probably won't do any steaming today, but I've got that in my pile. I've got my little sweater shaver here in my pile. And same thing, when I have a few things that I need to sweater shave, then I will just get that out. And then the rest of this bucket, to be honest, I think I might have shown, I have my lint roller. This is a non-negotiable. If there's anything to invest in as a reseller, it's a lint roller. Everything else in here is mostly for my shoe cleaning process, but I just keep it all together. I grab it, I keep it on the table, so as I need it, this I keep right here. I can just get things as I need them. One important thing we're going to talk about today is time management. And I'm just going to hit on a few things because I had somebody ask me recently, like, oh my gosh, you're a mom, you are a part-time reseller, you have a normal job, like how do you keep up with everything? And the answer to that is, I don't always feel like I am keeping up with everything, so don't be fooled. You guys are doing great. If it seems like your life is chaos, I'm right there with you. Obviously, you're seeing the best things on YouTube, so it's not like I'm always as put together as maybe I appear to be. So I'm not going to go at length because I'm actually thinking about doing like a dedicated Chatty Work With Me about that topic. But if there's one thing that we're going to talk about as we photograph today, I'm not just going to stand here and talk to you, I promise, the whole time, is batch your processing. That for me as a part-time reseller is the best thing I can do if I dedicate myself solely to a single task and keep going from there. So we'll talk about that a bit later, but what that means is as I'm sorting things to photograph and I'm making piles, I'm putting all of the pants or skirts or anything that needs this hanger into a single pile. And then I'm putting everything that needs this into a single pile. And then I'm putting all the kids stuff that will need this one into its own pile. So what that means is I'm just not switching hangers every item. I'm just doing all of one thing and then I'm doing all of the next. And that really helps. Okay, so let's get photographing while we chat a little bit here. Full disclosure, I have never tried multitasking while photographing before. So we're going to see how I do, especially when it comes to measurements, to make sure I can write down all of the numbers correctly. But when I go, I usually honestly just have like my laptop also sitting on the table. And that is when I like to listen and watch to podcasts or other reselling videos, things like that. It's a really good way to pass the time. It makes it feel less like work and more like fun for me. So that's usually what I'm doing. I do not measure kids' clothes unless I feel like there's a reason to. And having a reason to would be something like it's vintage and I think the size doesn't necessarily match what a size would be now. Or obviously if the like size tag is ripped off or something like that, then I would measure it accordingly. But kids' clothes, that also makes them easier to list because I don't have to worry about all of the measurements and everything. So right now when you're seeing me bend down, I'm taking pictures of the inner tags on this item. So I'm just doing it right on that table right there. Most of the shirts, I can take a picture of the tags while they're hanging on the wall. That's my preferred way to do it. I think it's a little faster, but obviously the pants I can't get to. So we're going to do a few pants so you can see my process, and then we will move on and I will show you how I do the tops and stuff. So some of these you might recognize from my other videos. So I'm writing Bonobos shorts on here, and then I'm going to measure. I use a tailor's tape measure for everything. I think you get more accurate. All right. 17, 9, 11. 17, 9, 11, and I'll know exactly what that means. For pants, I do a waist, laying flat, and then I do the rise. Or no, I do the inseam and then the rise. I've said it before, but I always take a picture with my hand in the pocket if it has pockets so people can see that. But yeah, some of these clothes you're going to see from some thrift with me's that I've had on my channel recently. If they look familiar, I'm trying to get them all listed. And then also throwback for any loyal followers. I did a haul on my channel quite a while ago, and then it sat downstairs for a while I was listing other things. So I literally just got out something that I did a haul like months and months ago. So if anyone like happens to remember some of these clothes from that, you are a real amazing person. I ran 15 and a half. See, I gotta, I'm just gonna say these out loud. 15 and a half, 1.5, 9. 15 15.5, 1.59. I ran a 30% off sale this morning. It is Sunday when I'm filming this, and I tend to run sales on Sundays just to kind of kickstart my closet for the week. And I've been getting some pretty good sales from it, which is exciting. But like right before I turned on the camera, I received a $20 sale for something that is listed at $95. And I was like, no, like even with my sale, I think it was 30% off with discounted shipping. It was still like $60. She counter offered $20. Like, what is with people? What is with people? They're like really, really cool Free People shoes that are like really chunky Y2K sandals. I think I had them on my channel in a thrift with me a long time ago. But, okay, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about time management. I know there are people that like to, like they'll go out, they'll thrift like 15 things, and then that'll be their 15 things for the next day. And in that day, they will photograph them, put them in their inventory, list them, and put them away. That is great, but that is not my process because I don't think I might have to get a new pen. Hold on one second. That doesn't work very well. Are you done with that one? Oh, thanks. My daughter heard me say that and like ran into the room with a new pen. She's so sweet. Some people can do that. That works for them. That's fantastic. But I find 13.5, 18, 10. 13.5, 18, 10. 13.5, 18, 10. I'm sorry for the pausing for measurement. But I find as a part-time reseller that just doesn't work. I think that it makes way more sense for me to do a lot of my processing in batches as I have time, mostly on the weekends and the afternoons when my son is napping. That is just the nature of it. And then what I do every single day is do my listings because that is important. That's where you need to be the most consistent. So if there was one thing that you need to do every single day, I absolutely recommend that one thing be the listing. And then things like shopping. I tend to do bigger hauls and bigger batches because I don't always have time to go sourcing. I certainly don't have time to go every single day and look for stuff. And I then will do I'll put a whole batch of things into my inventory. That'll be one thing when I have extra time one day that I will do. I will obviously, like today, I'll do all my photographing in a great big batch. I have tons and tons of stuff to photograph today. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole thing on video. But I find that works so much better. I will do all of my stain treating in a big batch because you work faster when your body is doing the same thing over and over again. It's even those small muscle movements. It's just repetitive on cycle. When your body doesn't have to switch from task to task to task, it doesn't get as confused and you get faster. So if you're doing 5 items, your body is having to switch. Okay, I'm doing photography now. I'm doing photography. That came out weird. I'm doing photography now. Okay, now I'm doing inventory. Okay, now I'm doing listing. It's much more difficult for your brain to process. Volcom shorts. So this is literally what this paper looks like. It's not the best. It's not great handwriting. I'm going very quickly, but it works for me. Ooh, my phone just double buzzed. I wonder if I had a sale. That would be great. Obviously, if it's new with tags, I always want to take close-up pictures of the specific tag. I'm taking a picture of anything that's unique to the item. So if there's a logo, I just took a picture of the button because it has the Volcom logo right on the front. This is linty. Probably because it's been sitting in my basement. It was in a bag. It was covered. But here we go. Let's see if I had a sale. Yay! I just sold. Here, I'll show you. An 11sies Anthropologie blazer for $28. Sorry for the shine there. That was super cute too. I wore that to work a couple times, so I got lots of compliments on it. I also wore it as like a much sexier look to like a dueling pianos night at a bar, which was super fun. And yeah, so that's got some good memories to it. But the other thing that I think works really well with time management when you're batching processes is to list similar items. So as a part-time reseller, my goal each day is to list 5 brand new items. And I always try to list 5 new things that are similar. So if I have like 5 baseball hats or 5 pairs of sandals, or even just like 5 pairs of jeans, even if they're from different brands, it's much easier because when I'm listing, I'm usually taking one listing. Like these are American Eagle cutoff denim shorts. So when I go to list this, I'm going to pull up a pair of American Eagle cutoff denim shorts in my Poshmark closet currently. I'm going to copy that and paste it over. And then I'm just going to change the sizing and the description and like just a couple things, obviously, to make it accurate. But then I don't have to, oh, we forgot to measure the Volcom shorts. Then I don't have to keep searching for another listing to copy and paste over. I just have that one listing and I can do a whole bunch of shorts that day. Or a whole bunch, like yesterday I had like 6 or 7 kids dresses all built up. 14.5, 10, 10, 14.5, 10, 10. I find that it's much easier to do. And again, you're not switching from different topic to different topic, which can really help impact your processes. 14, 3, 9. 14, 3, 9. I know a lot of people take photos and then take pictures of it in their listing. I don't currently. If you do that, let us know down in the comments. Do you like it? What's your thought process behind it? I do know that it probably saves you time from like typing it into your listing because you can just add the picture. And maybe some buyers do like seeing that so they can see for their own eyes. I don't know. I'm not convinced that works best for me and the way I do things yet. But who knows? I know a lot of people do that and maybe it is faster. Really hard to do with the tailor's tape, and I like using the tailor tape because I think it's more accurate for clothing, that you'll get more accurate measurements. All right, I'm going to do a few more pairs of shorts or pants, and then I'm going to save the rest for when I'm not on camera, and I'm going to switch to some tops just so you guys can kind of see how I do those, or some dresses. So these are a pair of Cabela's women's shorts. So I'm writing Cabela's just because I know I don't have anything else in these piles that is Cabela's. but if I had other Cabela's items, obviously I'd write like Cabela's green shorts or something like that. There has been times where 18, 5, 11, 18, 5, 11. There has been times where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this means. I don't remember which item this is. And that does happen. There has been times where I had to set something aside to just re-photograph it, or I realized afterwards that I forgot to take measurements of that because I got distracted or I wasn't paying attention or whatever it may be, or that I'll realize I forgot to take pictures of the back or the inner tag. Like all of those things happen. I'll dig the item back out. I'll retake photos. So I am very far from perfect, in case anyone has that generous but inaccurate impression of me. Oh my gosh, while we're talking, the next video I'm going to film after this, probably in a few days, is my swap meet haul. And I am so excited. I cannot wait to be able to dig through it all again and show you guys, because I know resellers, to include myself, say this all the time, like biggest haul ever or whatever. This one really is my biggest haul ever. I got so much stuff. All right, these pants make me sad because I actually picked these up in the hopes they would work for me. And they just, I don't know, they fit me, but they fit me weird. So I'm just going to sell them instead. 14, 29, 10. 14, 29, 10. but I need some more work pants. Okay, so when I take pictures of pants, you can see that it is not just a flat wall because of the, let me show you, because of how my kitchen is, and this is the best that I have to work with. So you can see, like, I'm trying to not get the glare, down here where my baseboard goes around, or my chair rail, I mean, and then there's like a beadboard under it. I don't love that. So actually when I do, I'll try to pop up a comparison for you. All of the pictures, obviously, like the bottoms are going to have that, whatnot. But for the front picture on the pants or dresses or anything where you can see that, or you can see like the side of my door right here, I just don't like that. I think the first photo on your 1x1 is the most important one. So I will do a background remover on that. I do use List Perfectly for my cross listing. It is a software that I pay for. I am not sponsored by them or affiliated, but I just really enjoy using that program. And so with the tier that I have, it includes a certain amount of free background removers. So I will do that when I get all these photos in for like all of my pants and dresses. I usually run out. I think I get 50 a month. And I usually run out. I do also use Canva for all of my YouTubing, for my thumbnails and videos and stuff. So they have a background remover. So that is a little bit more complicated because I have to like pull the picture over to Canva, take the background out, and then put it back into List Perfectly. So it's not quite as fast, but I usually don't have to do too many of those at the end of the month, or I'll just list like tops or shorts where I don't need the background to be removed. So yeah, just to share that process with you guys. I don't worry about it. Like, this is going to be a middle picture in my listing. I don't worry about that one. I only worry about the title picture that's going to show, just because I think that's the one that's going to grab people's attention. That's the picture that you need to be the best. So if there's ever one to use a background remover on, that's the one to do it. eBay does have a background remover that you can use. It's not bad actually, but since I'm building it in List Perfectly and then putting into Poshmark and eBay on the next day, I need to use something else because Poshmark doesn't have one built into their platform. Okay, let's do a couple tops. Obviously, very similar process, but at this point, I would switch hangers. I do like using the velvet hangers because I think it holds the items in place better. They don't slip and slide as much. I actually swapped to a wooden hanger at one point because I thought it might look a little better, and I switched back. I ended up really liking the velvet hanger. So for tops, dresses, things like that, I do a pit to pit, and I will do a length. And then I will do a sleeve length for anything longer than a short sleeve. I don't measure short sleeves, but I will measure if it's like 3/4 length or a long sleeve. I will measure that. And that's it. So those 3 measurements. So this, make sure to pull it tight, is 19 by 27. Sometimes, so you can see that this is like a high-low hemline, so it's shorter in the front than in the back, but only by a little bit. So things like this, I will usually just say 27 length, and then in parentheses, I'll say front. And they can just see that it's like a little bit longer. Now for anything that like is super different, like front to back, like if it's 5 or more inches, and this is just like really my opinion and how I'm feeling that day, I will list a front and a back for those measurements if I think that someone might really want to know that. All right. This photographs so well because of the bright colors. I love it so much. In my opinion, black is the hardest color to photograph because it washes out. So if anyone has any tips or tricks of photographing black things, send them my way. Oh, so this one I usually do the tags while they're hanging because I can just go like this and just hold the tag up. Sometimes I wish I had 3 hands, but don't we all? Fun fact, my son is turning 3 next month, but he has still been in his like normal crib. And he's obviously like been moved all the way down to the bottom because you can adjust the layers. But he hasn't like climbed and stuff and been dangerous. So we just left him in there because it's easier. He can't get out of his room. His room's right by the stairs. So we obviously want him to be safe. And he, the other night, tried to climb out and almost dive bombed out. Luckily, I was able to catch him. I was in there with him, 23. But I was like, okay, we got to take him out of this thing. It is time. Columbia Blue tank. So my husband took the front of it off this morning, and he is now officially in like just the toddler day bed, like it was a convertible crib. And nap time is going on right now. My husband put him in for nap time. And I don't think he wants to sleep because he can get to his books and his stuffies. And so, yeah, we're just in that toddler age right now. Who's with me on that? Okay, let me look at my phone. I have a couple more things I wanted to talk about. I had a couple more questions. I'm out of my routine. I got to remember to do this tag. I'm curious how many of these I'm going to get back when I go to list and be like, oh, I forgot to do this, or this picture's blurry because I was multitasking. But that's okay. This is fun. I feel like I'm here with my friends, just talking. When they have like a million tags, I'm looking for the tag that has the material content and the tag that has the care instructions. If it's in 17 million languages, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking pictures of all 7 tags that have all of the languages. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to remember what those other topics were. Oh, this is a good question. And I know this is controversial, but I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I have nothing to hide. Somebody asked if I wash all of my clothes before selling them. I hear resellers answering this question quite a bit. And it seems to be a hotly debated topic. Okay, hold on. Let's do some measurements. 16, 24. So the short answer is no, I don't. And the reason behind that is part of why I'm doing this entire thing is for the environment, right? Reusing clothes instead of buying everything brand new. I know that 95% of people out there, whenever they receive something in the mail that's pre-owned, they are going to wash it themselves. So if I washed everything, it would be basically for no purpose, because then the person is going to receive the item and they're going to wash it again. And we're wasting water, we're wasting detergent, we're wasting energy. So I just don't like that. However, I will absolutely wash anything that seems at all questionable. If it smells even the slightest bit weird, if it's got even the slightest bit of dirt on it, I absolutely do still wash a lot of items because I never want anybody to receive something from me that is anything less than perfect or as perfect as it can be. So I am still doing a lot of laundry, but I do not like something like this, or if it needs to be dry cleaned or hand washed or whatever. No, I'm not. Do I still hand wash a lot of items? Yes, because I thought there was something that they need. Okay, fun fact. Apparently, I can only film for 30 minutes, maybe, and it automatically times out. So I just restarted it. I'm not sure exactly where it stopped, but I think I was saying that anything that I do wash, I wash with care as it was my own item, because I obviously want the customer to be, if anything, more happy than with even what they were expecting. I want it to be in even better condition than what they were expecting. All right, what is this? This is a Prana Blue tea. So let me know. Do you wash everything? Do you not? 21, 20. I will say, when I'm shopping at a Goodwill retail store, I don't have to do as much laundry as when I'm shopping at the bins. When I'm shopping at the bins, I'm sorting, especially even while I'm doing my hauls, I'm throwing a lot of things into a wash pile. I do a lot more laundry after bin strips just because of the nature of where the items have been. I want clean items. All right. Oh my gosh. Here we go, phone. Oh, where's the sleeve? But I am curious because I know some people are like, oh my gosh, that's so gross. How could you not wash everything? That's terrible. And then I know other people kind of feel like I am and they're like, no, I don't need to wash every single thing. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, even if you think of like consignment stores or kids clothing stores, like Once Upon a Child, most of them are not washing their items either. So I guess I have that to back me up on. Okay, so things like this. This is a romper, actually. So it makes photographing some of these things a little bit more complicated, but not much. I will often have to like fix the waist tie and get things ready to be pretty. Doesn't look like I'll have to use a background remover on this one. Okay, so this is a Lulu's romper. For a romper, the measurements I'm doing are usually pit to pit and then rise. Same for a jumpsuit. And then I'll do the, not the rise, the inseam, and then I'll do a full length. Sometimes the ones that have these like dolman sleeves are really difficult, and I just guesstimate to the best I can 15, 28. I think I've only had a couple times, I think on Poshmark, and I've sold thousands of items on Poshmark, of people like putting in a claim to say that I measured wrong. And I still stand by that I measured correctly because I remeasured them myself when I received the item back because, of course, Poshmark approved it. And no, like the one person was measuring a pit to pit, but you could see in their pictures, they were measuring it like down here with the little picture that they took for Poshmark. But the item goes like this, like it has boning. So obviously if you take a measurement from down here, it's going to be different than up here. And they were saying it was too small. So whatever, they won those cases, but rarely do I have any problems with my measurements. Thankfully. I know not everyone does take measurements to list them, and I absolutely recommend. I didn't for the first couple months I started reselling, and then I did start doing it, and I'm very glad that I did. And then you're also not swamped with people asking for measurements in your comments, even though people still do. Even if you put them in the description or you have them in a picture, people still will. Because, I mean, why wouldn't people not take the time to read? Or they'll ask for like a really weird one that I will sometimes go back and measure for them. Okay, let's look at, I think I've got one more question we can do. Okay, this is an interesting one. Somebody wrote me like a really long novel comment, which is perfectly fine. I appreciate the question and the engagement. I think it was on one of my What Sold videos. And as you guys know, if you've seen my What Sold videos, there is a time to where I am just trying to move the item out. I will accept, a low offer on something, but there's always a reason for that. So the question was, have I ever considered, rather than taking a low offer and selling the item and still making profit, I'm not losing profit, have I ever considered simply redonating the item so that I'm paraphrasing for them, but so that I don't drive down the market? Great question. She made it sound like, I felt kind of bad. She made it sound like she had asked this question to other people's videos, and she was kind of given a little bit of hate for it, which I'm sad to hear. I'm glad she asked it because I want to talk about things. I am always here to talk and be transparent. She was very nice. She was very professional. So I don't mind that question whatsoever. And the question is, yes, I have thought about it because sometimes I will see when I'm running comps and stuff, I'll be like, oh my gosh, why did that person take a $5 offer on a $100 item? Like, what are you doing? So I don't want to be that person. But my answer is, I don't think I am being that person because any of the items, like I went back just because I was curious to see what had sold in that video and what items I was talking about taking a lower offer on. And all of the items I did that for are items that I had forever. I had listed them forever. So accepting what I would call a low offer is just based on my initial listing price. And it shows me that my initial listing price was too high. It doesn't mean that the market was wrong. It means that I was wrong. So I'm not driving down the market. I am humbling myself to what the market is showing me the item is worth. Before I accept those types of offers, I always recheck comps on eBay and Poshmark to be like, okay, am I a bit crazy or am I not? And the answer always is no, actually, this is what the market is showing me it is worth. And so I just need to humble myself a little bit and understand I'm not going to get top dollar for every single item. If I'm selling something for a low amount, it's usually because it's been listed for 3 years. So clearly no one wants this item. And you know what? I didn't measure that one. And me having a comp now on the internet for $12, I don't see that as hurting other resellers by driving down the market. I actually see that as helping other resellers. And here's why. Stay with me. I see that as a warning to other people. Hold on. 1624. 1624. That is a warning that this is not an item that people wanted to buy for 2 years. So maybe stay away. That is a true comp. Just because it's a low comp doesn't mean it's, quote, a bad or a wrong comp. Wrong comp. Let's go watch some movies. Or a wrong comp. It means that is what the market told me that was worth because no one wanted to buy it. So a very good question. I hope that answer makes sense in any way. Let me know if it does. Let me know if you disagree because some of us might disagree on that. And as long as everyone is being professional and kind in the comments, we can have that discussion. That's part of this business. I don't want people to be silenced just for asking those tough questions because then, we'll never learn. Fabletics tank. Get this measurement and then I think I've got one more topic. Different style. Let's see. You'll also have to tell me if you like this type of video or if it's just like distracting and I'm being too erratic because I'm trying to multitask. 1824. Or if chatting and watching me work is helpful. I hope you guys are working too. Especially if you're photographing. That would be fun. It's like we're having our own little photography session while my daughter is over here in the corner staring at me, not awkwardly at all. Oh, she's showing. Would you like to show them your Valentine? You might have to get up close. What is it?
It's like a roll-up.
It's a fruit roll-up. She added fruit roll-ups. Oh. That's my timer to tell me that I have a YouTube video going live right now. So I'm going to pause for a second and post it to my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Life with Maria Nicole, and I'm always posting stories over there, and I'm telling you when I have a new YouTube video, all those fun things. Also, shameless plug, to make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you get notifications every time I have a new video. Okay, I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. All right, we got it posted. Also, she's super sweet because she brought me one. She had leftovers, so she brought me one for me to eat, and she brought me my water because I was thirsty. She's the best little helper. She's now eating her own. They are wild berry punch. Shout out Aldi. Aldi had a really good selection of Valentine's Day stuff. Bring the Play-Doh over. Sorry if you don't care. I'm really sorry, but you guys are my friends and I want to share stuff. Yeah, so we got little Play-Dohs for my son to put with his Valentine's for his class. And then we'll have more than we need, I think, so he'll get to keep some. Oh, I loved these as a kid, but my parents, probably being good parents, would never get them for me. Do I ever get these for you? No, shaking her head, no, I don't. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch me eat it, though.
By the way, they make your tongues color.
They turn your tongues color. Yes, they do. All right, let's keep going. It is Super Bowl night, so I'm trying to get things done. We're not doing anything. We're just going to watch it here. We're going to let her stay up a little bit longer and just have a little bit of fun. Maybe watch it till halftime with us. So, okay, let me get this and then we'll talk about the last question. 18, 25, 19. 19, 25, 19. Intro. Okay, the last question is just a basic one, and I forgot to talk about it when I was doing it. I'm really sorry if the lighting is moving in and out, but as related to this question, my question was, what lighting do you use for photos? And the answer is you're looking at it. I am not using any extra lighting. I am just using natural lighting. So if you go over to either my Poshmark or my eBay, you'll be able to see the photos that I take. If you're just kind of curious about what they look like once I'm done, just go scroll through a few of my listings. You can see the process. But I am just using natural daylight, and I do find that like overcast days are best because I'm not getting all of these weird shadows like I am today. However, for my shoe photography, we'll have to do another video maybe of shoes. I did do a video, now that I come to think of it, quite a while ago of me like doing some shoe cleaning and stuff. I'll try to find that and link it in the description for you. But I do use I'm actually filming with it right now. It's not really on, it's just holding my camera. I do have a ring light that I use, and I just bend it over on top of my shoe kind of setup. I use this exact same, people have asked me before, what do I use for the backgrounds of my shoes? Let me just show you. It is just this thing I used to do. I said beauty photography on it. So I will put this on the wall, and then I will bend it on the floor. So if you can picture that, this part with my hand is on the wall, this part with this hand is on the floor, and I will set the shoes right here. So it's seamless, so you can't see a line, because if you took two pieces of paper and bent them together, you would be able to see that there was a line and it wouldn't look as nice. Okay, well, I think I'm going to cut it here. I still have quite a bit of stuff to photograph, so I need to get going on that. But I hope this was fun. Let me know if this was productive, if you like this style of video. I can do some more chatty work with me's. If you have more questions, I will either answer them right in the comments, or sometimes I'll be like, hey, that's a great question, but it's better for a video. So let me hang on to it until the next time I do one of these. I, of course, want to hear about your photography process. I want to hear about some of your time management skills. How are you finding efficiencies in your own business? If we could have that conversation in the comments, we would all learn from each other, which is even better than you guys learning from me, because I am still learning every single day in this business. All right, and that is it for me today. She wanted to come say goodbye as she eats her fruit roll-up. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.